Lately, one topic that has been widely discussed on social media is a trip involving Jimin and Jungkook. It all started with a seemingly ordinary moment. Jimin was spotted at the airport. Under normal circumstances, this might not have attracted much attention, but this time it was enough to spark comments, questions, and theories from various parties. Shortly after, Jungkook was also spotted at the airport. And what caught the public's attention was the fact that the two appeared to be heading to the same country. This sparked a variety of reactions on social media. Some were polite, but not a few were cynical, even aggressive, especially towards Jimin. Social media was filled with speculation and narratives that tried to change the public's perception of what really happened. Some theories say that Jungkook had no intention of going to the same place as Jimin, and even wanted to be as far away from him as possible. They rejected the possibility that the meeting could be a coincidence or a normal trip together. Instead, they began to look for other, more complicated explanations. Even more surprising is the claim that Jungkook traveled to meet Taeyong, despite there being no visual evidence that Taeyong was at the airport. Some people even spread the theory that Taeyong was hidden inside Jungkook's suitcase, an idea more suited to a sci-fi movie than reality. As absurd as it may sound, the theory has nevertheless spread and has even been seriously defended by some users. This phenomenon suggests that some social media users prefer to imagine dramatic scenarios rather than accept the simple explanation that two bandmates, with a long history together, could have traveled to the same place in a natural way. Behind that, there is a tendency to deny or separate the connection between Jungkook and Jimin, while also forcing unfounded connections with others. For example, some people insisted that Jungkook went to Japan to meet an idol from the girl group aespa. However, when looking at the dates and itinerary, there is no correspondence that supports the theory. However, the narrative is still spread as if it were fact. This pattern often appears, especially when there are moments together between Jungkook and Jimin that are too real to ignore. Interestingly, whenever Jimin is seen with someone from his circle of friends, many immediately assume that it is his romantic partner. But when there are photos, videos, and clear moments of Jimin and Jungkook together, the public reaction is the opposite. They call it a coincidence or part of the job. This difference in standards reflects how some people are not ready to accept the fact that the relationship between Jimin and Jungkook could be real and genuine. So, every time there is a sign of closeness, a diversionary narrative appears to cover it up. Some would say that their interactions are just fan service, acting for their fans. But their body language says something different. When one moves, the other follows naturally. When Jimin looks uncomfortable, Jungkook notices him without making it seem deliberate or dramatic. Their movements don't seem forced. They seem to live in their own world. These natural reactions are hard to fake. Their interactions show a closeness that's grown over time and experiences together. They've shared so much: stages, projects, travels, even personal moments. It's all a deeper bond than a typical professional relationship. They have a silent communication that doesn't require words. A small gesture is enough to let the other know. In many clips, when they feel unnoticed, their responses seem more honest. Jungkook always stands close to Jimin, guarding him. Jimin responds by being calm, smiling, or relaxed. There's no doubt that their interactions are different from the rest of the group. Even when they try to keep their distance, their bodies don't lie. The way they walk, the way they lean in, and even the way they react to small touches are consistent and genuine signals. It wasn't something done for show. It was the result of an understanding that had grown over time, a physical and emotional bond that couldn't be faked. They shared a silent language that only they understood. Even when the public tried to ignore their closeness, the reality still came through in the small gestures, glances, and attentions they showed each other. When it all became too obvious, that's when the outlandish theories started to emerge, as if the reality was too hard to accept. But their relationship didn't need anyone's validation to be real. It was in their actions, in their wordless intimacy, in the automatic reactions born of a long-standing bond. This wasn't about fan fantasy, but about a closeness that was real and proven over time.